125 West Olentangy Street in Powell. He's going to come over and professionally shave me, I guess, down to the skin. Just all the way. It's gone. Smooth baby face. And what I'm telling you right now, you should avoid the YouTube channel tomorrow, because when you see this, you're going to be horrified by what my round, pale face looks like. Because I've had it covered by a beard for the better part of 20 years. I don't even know what's under there at this point. We could have all kinds of, who knows, marks. I could have a birthmark. Maybe I have like a Mikhail Gorbachev birthmark that developed over the time, and it's just right there under my cheek, and I've never seen it.
You sound nervous.
I am. I'm a little. I mean, I bet you that you wouldn't hit a home run. You did in the celebrity softball game with Cardale Jones, and then now I have to shave this off. So we're doing that tomorrow on the air at 8:45. So check it out. Then you can watch it on the YouTube stream, though I highly recommend you don't. Diana Rossini, she covers the NFL. She had this about the Trey Hendrickson situation. This is from yesterday. Just spoke to Bengals pass rusher Trey Hendrickson, who's currently in Jacksonville, Florida. Tyvis, correct me if I'm wrong. I know they go south for training camp. The Bengals don't train in Jacksonville, Florida for training camp, right?
No. Right, okay. I think they're in Cincinnati.
So he's not with the team. Apparently, for the last 30 days, he had been at his home in Cincinnati and training, but as training camp approached, he and his wife decided to leave. They received 2 offers in a 24-hour span, none containing the guarantees past the first year that he was looking for. Hendrickson said he didn't want to be a distraction to his teammates, so he and his wife, Alyssa, decided to pack up and head to Florida. Down in Jacksonville, Hendrickson continues to train, hoping that a deal can be worked out. Quote, I was more than willing to take less in some ways in order to make this work. So the reports are, not just this one, that he wanted something similar to what TJ Watt has received in years 2 and 3 of the deal. There's guaranteed money in those years. What he was being offered by the Bengals was a guaranteed money in year 1 type of deal, but then nothing guaranteed past year 1. And he's saying I should get more in guarantees. But apparently he's saying I would have taken less in other ways if they would have given me guaranteed money. So I don't know who to believe. I mean, obviously it's the team's going to come back and say we made him a fair offer, but
they're going to say he's being unreasonable. And he's going to be like, listen, I told you, he's going to end up getting a 2-year deal. He's going to get a 2-year deal for about $30 million guarantees. I can see that. He's going to get $30 a year. I can see that for 2 years. That's
$30 a year, but not all guaranteed, you're saying.
I think he'll get 2 years. I think he'll get like 2 years, $58 million or something like that.
Wow. That is so much less than what TJ Watt's getting and what other like top pass rushers are getting. And he's the guy who led the league. Again, I understand it's more than just sacks to play defensive line, but he did lead the league in sacks last year. And over the last 2 years combined, he has more sacks than TJ Watt. So like
he not getting what TJ Watt get 3 years of
41 million per year?
I don't think he getting that.
No, I'm sure he's not.
I think he the closest he'll get is like 34, 35.
Here's the question.
A year.
I know the Bengals, people will point, well, the Bengals are paying guys. And it's like, yeah, they're paying their wide receivers and their star quarterback. Here's my question. Can you afford, if you're the Bengals, to not have your best defensive player, given how bad your defense has been? Can you afford to screw around with his money and screw around with your first-round picks money that you brought in to help fix the defensive line, and now he's not there either? Like, what are they doing with this defense? It makes no sense.
It's not like they're going to try it. You think, you know what? They practiced today, I believe, right?
They should be,
It's going to be quite interesting to see that first-team D-line go out there and neither your Trey Hendrickson or Shamar Stewart is on the first D-line. They go watch that pass rush and be like, yeah, we got to just give them what they want, because if you ain't got a pass rush, you ain't got a chance.
No. In the league that we have found, literally the number one thing that matters other than having a great quarterback is having a defensive line that can cause havoc.
You know what, though? Selfishly, as a Browns fan, I hope they don't get the deal done in week 2.
Well, you're right. That would be nice. Maybe it helps them out a little bit.
They should figure it out week 2 of the season.
I got to tell you, though, I don't really think it matters, because I'd like to know who's scoring the points for this. The Browns have the opposite problem, where it's like, oh, they have a decent defense.
But no offense.
I have no idea what this offense is going to
Jerry
be.
Jeudy.
Yes, but he can't throw the ball to himself is the problem.
Joe Flacco's good for a few games.
Well, against that, you know what? Against that Bengals defense, you're right. He probably will look like an all-pro in that game. But they have a real all-pro over on the other side for the Bengals, and he will be on his game, I'm quite sure.
You don't want to see Kenny Pickett?
No. Tiny hands from the Burger King commercial?
With the gloves?
No, I'm good. I'm fine. I'd rather see one of the rookies play. Let's just have – why are we messing around with guys who have no real future in the NFL?
Because you don't want to ruin a young quarterback.
I know why.
You don't want to ruin him.
I know why.
Why?
They don't want to mess around with winning any games.
No, that's not it. That's not it.
Because I tell you who they're aiming for next year already.
Arch Manning.
Jimmy Haslam can't hide the fact that he is all in on Arch Manning.
Oh, for sure.
He hadn't even played basically like a meaningful season where he is the guy for the majority of the season. He hasn't done that yet. And yet everyone's convinced he's the number one guy, and I guarantee you Jimmy Haslam's already in on this because he might
not even come out.
Tennessee royalty.
Yeah, I was going to say, here's the thing with that. I mean, we've seen a Manning hold an NFL franchise hostage being the, consensus number one pick. If he doesn't want to go to the Browns, he could easily just go back to Texas, and it's easier for players to go back now because he's still going to get a bag if he goes back to college.
Nothing would surprise me less than if that were to happen. Like, that would be the least surprising development you could have is the Browns try to tank to get Arch Manning, and then that's what happens is he's like, nah, I'm good. I'll just go back to college.
That's why you can't go into a season with that mindset.
Of course.
The whole tanking thing, like, no, because you don't know who's coming out. You don't know what's going to happen. Arch Manning could get hurt this season, and then he really ain't coming out. So then it ruins that entire plan.
That's right, Jerry Jones.
Now you just wasted a whole year for no reason. Like, no, you go out there and you do what you're supposed to do. Maybe Jacksonville won't be good, and maybe you could just decide to take their pick and use it for a quarterback.
Well, that could be.
But I get everybody's thing with they want to see the young quarterbacks. My thing is, I want to see the young quarterbacks too. Like, I want to see both Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders for the Browns this year, but only if they're ready. Like, I don't want to see them. What's the point of me going out there and they're not ready to play and watching them? Then I'm going to be like, oh, well, they're not any good. Where in all actuality is if they would have sat a couple of more weeks and learned a little bit more about the NFL and adapted to the speed of the game, maybe they could be successful. But it's been so many times we've seen these young quarterbacks go in there that just weren't ready for year one, and they look terrible, and now we're moving on. And the Browns are in that predicament where everybody wants to see these two quarterbacks, and you got 2 first-round picks next year that you could potentially package up maybe to try to move up in the draft to get a quarterback. So it's a fine line. Like, it's so they put themselves in a very tough predicament because it's like I want to see them, but like I don't want to see them if they're not ready because then that's not fair to them.
I get what you're saying totally, and I also think the beauty of having the guy on the bench for most people is the second it doesn't look good with the guy who's on the field, hope exists elsewhere, right? Hope sitting there on the bench. So like having a young quarterback. When you have, let's say, Joe Flacco, or if it's Kenny Pickett, whoever goes out there and starts and they have a few good games and then they have a couple of duds, or I mean like that Joe Flacco playoff game where he threw like 3 picks and looked like he didn't know how to play football. If you have that now and you have, let's say, Dylan Gabriel, or if it's Shedeur Sanders, looking great in the preseason, that gives you hope as a fan, which is sometimes better than the reality, which is when you put those guys out there, they're probably not going to be a whole lot better, but you know that they could improve. With Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, you pretty much know that their ceiling has been hit and they may actually never get back to it again. Whereas the other guys, whatever you see that's bad, you're saying, well, yeah, but that's first-year jitters, or they're learning how to play in the NFL. Once they get through that, they could be great. Whether that's true or not, that's the hope that exists with every young quarterback that you have on your bench that isn't playing. And that noise is going to get louder and louder, especially in a city like Cleveland. If anyone like Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett, either of those guys get the starting job.
If Kenny Pickett get the starting job, it's going to be...
No, at least they like Flacco.
The moment he throws that first interception, it's going to be cheers for Gabriel or Shedeur to get in the game. So... Yeah.
I said this joking around, filling in for Bishop and Friends a month ago. It's like, let's just split the season in quarters and let all 4 of them get their equal share of starts. And then let's just see who the best one is after that.
That's a scientific approach. That's what you do.
No,
you have all like equal parts. They all get to try different things.
Let me ask y'all this. Let's say that they do decide to go with one of the rookies. Let's say they decide to go with Dylan Gabriel.
Like week 1 is what.
No.
Okay.
Let's say it's like week 8.
Okay.
And they decide to make the change to Dylan Gabriel. And let's say Dylan Gabriel goes out there and he looks good for 5 weeks. Would you want to see Shedeur? Or are you good?
I think some people would.
Would you?
I mean, if
bench Dylan Gabriel?
If he comes out and plays well, of course I'd want to keep him out there. I don't want to. No, I mean, like the Shedeur Sanders thing, like I said, the hope is there when the guy who's on the field sucks. But if the guy who's on the field is actually good, especially if it's one of the 2 rookies, then I'm not going to be like just desiring to see the other rookie. I'm going to be saying, well, maybe we should trade that guy because the potential is there and a team might get desperate and want him. That's where I would end up being. As much as I'd like to give Shedeur Sanders a shot, I don't think he's a 5th round or 4th round pick, whatever he ended up being. Yeah, I don't think he's that bad of a quarterback. I think he'll be better when he gets his chance. But if the guy who they pick, whoever it is out there throwing darts and looking awesome, then I'm not actually going to feel obligated to make the Shedeur thing happen. All right, we got to have a conversation. It might just be that Ross Bjork isn't great at making decisions because he seems to have made another terrible one for Ohio State. We'll talk about that in 2 minutes. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, if you're heading out towards Gahanna and the airport tonight, we do want to let you know about a ramp closure. That is that Hamilton Road ramp to 270 northbound. That will be closed starting tonight, 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. and will last through about Friday morning. So a good detour to keep in mind here. Take Hamilton Road to 317 instead. That will take you along on that west side of 62 and eventually will hop you back on to 270 in that northbound direction. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Nationwide Picnic with the Pops presents the Pride of the Buckeyes, the Ohio State University Marching Band. Don your scarlet and gray and join the Columbus Symphony Orchestra for a night of fight songs, battle cries, fireworks, and more. July 25th and 26th at the Columbus Commons. Visit picnicwiththepops.com.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Both of these men love the Browns. Also, both of these men hate the Browns. If you know, you know. This is T-Bone and Tyvis.
Yesterday, we got some news in the college football world that I think, I don't know. It's early. Maybe I'm reading this wrong, but the way it looks to me as I saw this come down last night is that Ohio State, with the way that they are handling recruiting right now, has absolutely screwed up and miscalculated severely. Because we've been talking about this story for the last few weeks, how defensive line talent has not been coming here. Ohio State's been missing on some top recruits. They have no problem getting wide receivers. Got 5 of them in next year's class. But a lot of the other positions, you're not seeing the biggest name guys coming here. And part of that problem appears to be, unless you have a coach like Brian Hartline, who players believe can get them not just to the NFL, but like a high draft pick in the NFL, they're not willing to take a discount to come play at Ohio State. You have to pay the players. Mm-hmm. It's NIL. Mm-hmm. You know about this recruiting world, Tyvis. You were a part of it as a player and as someone after you played. Is it shocking to you that players want to get paid and aren't necessarily going, oh, the Buckeyes won a national championship, I'll go there no matter what they're going to pay me?
No, because the thing is, what we have to take into consideration a lot of the times is you have to realize that not everybody comes from the best situation. So that's a part of it. Some people need this money to, they want to take care of their family as much as they possibly can. And, if you're talking about $500,000 difference, like, I would ask the coach, so you...
Yeah, right.
If another school offered you $500,000 more, would you not? You leave it on the table? No, you wouldn't.
Of course not.
So I think that I understand why some of these recruits feel the way they feel. Granted, I understand also Ohio State side of it, of the opportunity, the development. You can really literally hit all of the marks here that you want to hit, as far as you could be an All-American, you could win a national championship, you could be a captain, you could get to the NFL and become a first-round pick. But what the player is probably saying to themselves is, if I'm that good, I can do that also at another place as well. So,
well, again, imagine
at the end of the day, the money is always going to be the deciding factor.
We treat Ohio State football, because we're fans of it, we treat college football differently than we treat a job, right? Which I understand to a degree, because it is a big honor to play for a school like Ohio State. But the reality is, for a guy who's, whether he grew up in Ohio or not, a lot of players have options to go play anywhere. They have an option, they hope, to get to the NFL. So for them, this is part of what's going to be their occupation. Football has kind of been their job from like junior high, for some of these top level recruits. Mm-hmm. So if you are going to your job and they said, hey, we know you could get more at another job that's like says they want you, says you can play, they're going to give you all this time and effort, and they're going to invest in you to build your career, but come here for less because we promise 4 years from now you'll be a better employee. Would you listen? Most people would say, sorry, I'm going to go to the place that's going to pay me now.
For sure.
And pay me more later, hopefully, too. I want all of it. And I'm just saying, sometimes we don't think about that. As much as what you're saying is accurate, and I know it's right, it's also a recruiting pitch that I think falls on deaf ears sometimes. So the money matters, and around college football, everyone's paying. Ohio State's one of the schools that's saying, we're going to wait. We're not going to go in all full-bore NIL because this house settlement came down. This house settlement says there's not a cap, but the amount of money distributed from the TV deal, that's what you can use to pay players. And then after that, it's really going to be limited. And the reason it's going to be limited is because they said in this house settlement, this, the College Sports Commission, the CSC, they're the ones who have to rubber stamp now every NIL deal and say that is legitimate. That is because Nike or Adidas wants to endorse you, and they're doing that. Jeremiah Smith got an Adidas endorsement. That's a legitimate business thing. Mm-hmm. He's a great player. They want his name, image, and likeness to promote their product. They're running commercials with him. That makes sense. Local car dealership says, we want to give a guy $1 million just because he's a high-level recruit who's never played a down of college football. That may not be seen as a legitimate business expense. Mm-hmm. If the collective, though, sees a recruit and says, let's just give him $2 million, that was believed that would be flagged as not a legitimate business expense, and it would get taken away. Well, yesterday, the lawyers for this house settlement, they won a ruling where they basically came back and said, NIL collectives, they're legitimate businesses. Their business is getting recruits to play for these schools. Mm. So if they pay a recruit $1 million and he's never played a down of college football, that'll count. And that's rubber stamped now.
So the collectives are back, baby.
That is exactly the type of deal Ohio State has been avoiding. And from what we understand, I'd love for Ohio State to tell me I'm wrong. That comes from Ross Bjork in the AD's office. Because from what we've heard, Ryan Day is trying to abide by the rules, but that's guidance he's gotten in working with the AD. And I need to know if that's Ross Bjork's call, if that's Ryan Day's call, because whoever's call it is, it appears they got it wrong. They wanted to play it safe this offseason and say, we don't want to step on the rules. We don't want to get in trouble. While literally 90% of the schools out there are full throttle. We don't care. We're still going to do these deals until they tell us to stop. We're going to keep doing them. And now the guidance has come back from the lawyers basically saying, keep doing the collectives. Keep doing what you're doing.
It seems to me Ohio State is being penalized for running what's the word I'm looking for? Truth. honorary program.
An honest program, I guess.
Honest program,
But
yes.
to me, we're not talking about like stealing money from homeless people. Like what we're talking about is they're trying to honor a system that is a flawed, silly system to begin with that no one respects and no one believes will ever have any oversight. We had Heather Dinich on a couple weeks ago, and she said all the coaches she's talking to are saying they don't know how this is ever going to be enforced because they're literally looking at every deal that's more than $6,000 in college football.
600.
Oh, 600. Was it 600?
I think it's 600.
Either way.
And I said, that's ridiculous.
6,000 even is nothing, right? Like that means they're reviewing basically every college NIL deal.
Yes.
For 120 Division I programs, plus basketball, where they have 330 programs, plus gymnastics and softball and literally everything else. And you're telling me that oversight, they're going to catch it when a guy is like, oh, wait, he got $1 million as a recruit, as a 5-star. We got to flag that. Maybe they'll catch it. But apparently now that's going to be allowed.
The only thing with all of this is I've never understood how are you going to stop somebody from getting money? Like that part I never understood. Like if somebody, just because you think he's only worth $100,000, if somebody else looking at him, oh, he's worth $1 million. He should be able to collect that $1 million. I'm sorry. Like
I'm with you on that.
I don't understand how we got to a point where it's like, oh yeah, we want to limit these kids on money, like the money that they're getting.
Dude,
why?
You know why? Because for years we have had so many people who run college athletics who have said we can't even let the players collect a dime. And now it's like, well, we can let them collect a dime, but they can't collect $1. And then it's like, all right, well, they can get $1, but only if the school rubber stamps it. And it's like there's always got to be a filter. Yet I've not heard one of these people who bemoans the falling of college football because now the players are getting paid. They never talk about the coaches who in their state are the highest paid state employee. Like no one ever says we should cap Ryan Day's pay at $5 million if we're so worried about the rising cost of college athletics. No one ever says that. No one says that, Jimbo Fisher shouldn't be able to sign an extension where he gets a $75 million buyout if he sucks, which, in case you didn't follow that, he did, and he got that money. By the way, which athletic director signed him to that deal where he ended up getting and then fired him 2 years later, and he got the $75 million buyout? That would be the guy right now who apparently is telling Ryan Day, don't pay the players, be safe, don't spend all this money. We got to be careful with this system. Ross Bjork was the AD at Texas A&M when that happened. Ross Bjork was the AD, by the way, at Ole Miss when they had the Houston Nutt fiasco where they tried to pin all of Hugh Freeze's bad dealings on Houston Nutt, the former coach. Mm-hmm. Houston Nutt sued them, and in that lawsuit, that's when it came out that Hugh Freeze was calling up escort services, and they had to fire his ass. Like, Ross Bjork has a history of not necessarily making the greatest decisions when it comes to guiding football programs. So I don't know why everyone in the media around here seems to think Ross Bjork has just got it figured out. He's really not been great at a lot of, he's had big jobs, but he kind of keeps falling into bigger jobs where he then makes more colossal bad decisions. So I need to know the guy in charge of all this right now with Ryan Day. Is that guy really the guy we want making these decisions?
I think,
and leading this guidance? Because it seems like once again he's made a bad decision. If this was Ross Bjork's call,
well, I think that one of Ross's strengths was that he understood how to raise money. I think that was like his number one thing. And when you talk about NIL and revenue sharing and all those things, obviously you need somebody who knows how to raise money. And I think that's where his strength has come in at.
That's fair enough. I mean, he does do that. You're right. Yeah. He raises money. But now
as far as the other stuff, I can't really. Yes, yeah.
I can tell you. I mean, that's all.
The other two things, the Ole Miss and him firing Jimbo. Well, at least he actually fired him. A lot of people would have just rolled it out.
To be fair,
I mean, at least he raised his money. If you could write a check for $75 million,
that's true. But that's the thing, right? To be fair, maybe that's why he is being now cautious, is because now Ohio State is paying for some of his bad decisions elsewhere, where now he's saying, guys, whoa, hey, I've gotten into trouble before by going too far, too quickly, too fast, too quickly. Let's back off of this and let's make sure we know the landscape. That's fine. But for me, I'm Ohio State. I don't wait for anybody. I lead. And I know the idea is, and I know Ryan Day wants to follow the rules, but we're not talking about following the rules of a society. Like, yes, everyone following these rules would probably be a little better for the Wild West nature of college football, these guidance rules that were out there of like, don't just pay players because they're high-level recruits. Pay them for a legit business expense. That's good. But if no one's going to follow them, then what does it matter that you do? Like that's a subjective ethics that's not great, but it is also college football. That's where we're at. So
it's a big season for the Buckeyes. That's all I'm going to say.
It's a huge season for the Buckeyes. That's right. You're not, and I like what Ryan Day said yesterday. You're not defending. We'll actually hear some of those comments a little bit later on. Barstool, though, they are now a thing with the Big Ten. Is that a good thing for the Big Ten? We'll talk about it next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good Wednesday morning. Well, we are definitely noticing a lot more people on the roads right now. Time saver traffic map looking a little busy out there. Certain areas looking at Pickerington and Canal Winchester. Of course, looking at you guys, 33 westbound. Certain portions got you at 42 miles per hour. The same situation for folks over just south of our downtown scene. Taking 71 at Green Lawn Avenue, especially that northbound direction. Looking a little bit congested out there. 315, 71, 70. All those intersections just a little bit slower than usual this morning. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
The sun is out and the savings are on. Now at Coghlan Chevrolet. Lease a new 2025 Chevy Trax for $159 a month. A new 2026 Chevy Equinox, only $259 a month. Or a new 2025 Silverado, lease for $359 a month. See our full inventory at CoghlanChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Coghlan has the car for you.
36-month lease with $39.99 due at signing, plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. Ends 8/4/25.
When it comes to protecting your business, whether it's your staff, property, or assets, don't make a crucial mistake by contracting companies that provide subpar and unprofessional service. What you need is a security partner known for their unwavering professionalism and unnatural liability. You need Event Risk. Event Risk is a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company that not only specializes in on-site guarding, but also offers armed security associates and executive protection agents. Event Risk, elite protection for your peace of mind.
Hello, my name is Eric Rose, CEO and founder of Event Risk Security Services. We are a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company providing protection services and consulting to Fortune 500 corporations, movie studios, celebrities, and high-net-worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor quality security officers and the endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give us a try. For virtually the same cost, we can then address what keeps you up at night.
Visit eventriskinc.com.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.44%, APR 6.47% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle and Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
It's hot out. Stay in the house and cool yourself with the sweet sounds of The Fan. You can watch on YouTube or tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 The Fan. It's the equivalent of putting ice cubes down your pants. All right! The Fan.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Tyvis Powell is a legendary Buckeye. T-Bone loves to eat Buckeyes. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
The Huddle coming up at 8 o'clock. All your NFL questions answered. 8:30, we will talk to Justin Zwick, go inside the quarterback room. Plus, you will hear more from Ryan Day from Big Ten Media Day. That continues to go on, Big Ten Media Day. Yesterday, he spoke, though, and had plenty to say. You will hear from him coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, 8:15. But, yeah, we saw this story a couple days ago, and I don't know what the Big Ten – I don't know exactly what their logic is. I have a hunch of what it is. They're partnering up with Barstool Sports. Dave Portnoy apparently is going to be on their Big Noon kickoff coverage. They're going to do some stuff there. They're going to have his set next to the Big Noon stuff. And the argument I guess they've made is that they want this to be a counter to Pat McAfee on ESPN and all the SEC homerism that happens on ESPN because they have the SEC contract. They care about promoting that. They don't care as much about the Big Ten. Dave Portnoy is a Michigan man, so he's going to obviously be passionate about the Big Ten. What do you think of all that, Tyvis? You like the idea of trying to go back and forth with ESPN? I know you work for Big Ten Network, but you think, as just like a Buckeye fan, do you think that's going to make it more of a watchable product for Big Noon Kickoff?
I think it's going to make it seem just like how it is watching game day. When you hear Desmond Howard talk, it's going to be along those lines where it's going to be unreasonable, irrational opinions about the Wolverines, and it's going to be slight digs at Ohio State. And the crazy thing is, you talk about one of the biggest brands that's been at the top of your conference for many, many years, really haven't had a dip out of the conference like the Wolverines have. But it's fine. I mean, it's fine. I mean, Big Noon, fine.
Yeah.
Is it going to make me tune in? No, because I'll be working, so make sure you tune into the tailgate show. Because that's what you should be looking at anyway.
You're going to be on Big Ten Network, and we can watch. I'd rather watch that anyway. I did watch that quite a bit last year. I saw you at Purdue a few times. I'm going to be honest, but I got a good sense of Ross-Ade Stadium when I saw you there.
Yeah, it's but yeah, it's going to be fun to see him interact with all those guys that's on that desk, and I love when it gets to the rivalry week. Man,
I was just going to say, Urban is still on that
Urban
desk.
and him is going to be,
I think you're spot on with the Desmond Howard thing.
No, that's exactly what he is. He is the Desmond Howard of Big Noon.
Yeah, that's what they're going to get. So I don't think it's necessarily he's going to defend the Big Ten as much as he's going to say wild, unhinged things about Michigan, and then that will be the extent of his defending the Big Ten, is my guess. And I'm not saying this as someone who's completely anti-Barstool. Like, I'm not a fan of everything Dave Portnoy does by any stretch of the imagination, but like, I do enjoy the pizza reviews. I do enjoy watching some of like the yak stuff that they've put out there, but yeah, they've got their flaws. That is not like a perfect media company by any stretch, but it's not a bad thing for the Big Ten to be kind of aligning with that. Fox is trying to make that happen because it helps with TV numbers, but ultimately
it does give them a wild card.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, Pat McAfee is a wild card. You don't ever know what he's going to say. He's going to bring energy. I think Dave Portnoy does do that. But it's like he also has a Desmond Howard part of him as well. So it's like,
I think it won't go the same way as Pat McAfee, because if Pat McAfee is in Georgia, he will give Georgia fans something to be excited about, and then he may take a shot at them too, but he will like get them going a bit, get them on his side a bit. He's a pro wrestling guy. He loves to like play that up a little bit. And he will play the villain sometimes too, but he'll get people on his side. Portnoy's going to come in and be probably one note about Michigan. And so everywhere he goes, he'll be like, yeah, this is great. It's not Ann Arbor. And then when he comes to Ohio State, he's not going to sit there and try to get on the Buckeye fans' side. He's going to be antagonistic. So, yes, if you're a Michigan fan and you love seeing a guy say things that don't make any sense about your stupid program, enjoy.
Yeah.
Dave Portnoy will be right there. But, like, as far as this making – I don't need the people on TV to rah-rah my conference. If the conference is good – talk about how good it is. Well, if the conference sucks, then say that it sucks and these games are dog crap. Just be honest.
My thing with him is I need to know what his knowledge beyond the Wolverines are.
That's what I was going to say.
That's the thing I'm scared of. Like, all right, when it's time to talk about Penn State or it's time to talk about Purdue or Minnesota, like, do you know that? Like, no. Or do you only know the Wolverines?
Yeah, because like when I first saw this, I thought, okay, this is a counter to Pat McAfee, and that seems to be what the consensus is now. But the difference between him and Pat is Pat played at West Virginia, and Pat played in the NFL, and Pat has actual insights to college football that I don't know if Dave Portnoy has. Like, if they would have hired Dave Portnoy to be like the host of Big Noon, I think that would have been a little bit different. But to him be on a panel of quote-unquote experts with Urban and Matt Leinart, and I think Mark Ingram's still going to be on there, it's like, I don't think he really fits in that regard. So it's really he's just on there to be controversial, which is like, why do we need that?
To your point, I don't need to hear Dave Portnoy telling Urban Meyer, whoa, hold on a second, coach, I think you've got that wrong.
Right.
When it comes to like a Big Ten football opinion, no, I like, as much as I may like or not like Urban Meyer or Dave Portnoy, like, the fact is one of those guys knows more about, forgot more about football this morning than Dave Portnoy will ever know. And that's the part that I think we're getting a little out ahead on that. But whatever. Will it get ratings? We'll find out. I don't tend to think it will. But
I won't know because I'll be busy during the time they're on. But
I'll be watching your show.
I will make sure that I look on Twitter or X and see if I will know if they say something crazy because I'll see it on the internet.
All your NFL questions answered in the huddle. Next, T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Wednesday. Well, good morning to our folks over on our northwest side, Dublin, Plain City. Looking at you, if you're heading into the downtown scene, especially taking 270, notice some slowdowns out there. A similar situation for folks over in Grove City this morning. If you're heading into the scene, taking 71 northbound that direction here, looking at 29 miles per hour over by Greenlawn Avenue. A lot more congestion for your Wednesday commute. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com. At CME, many of our team members are certified financial counselors, trained to help you budget smarter, tackle debt, and build a plan for your financial goals. They offer free confidential support exclusively for CME members with real-world guidance. Whether you're starting from scratch or need a plan for a specific financial journey, our counselors are here to help. No judgment, just support. Let's move forward together. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit cmefcu.org for additional details.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I know what it's like to be stuck in that cycle of pain where you're trying to get better. You keep going to the doctor, steroid shots, surgeries. Do not go down that road anymore. Go see my friends at QC Kinetics. They will help treat you without going under the knife and without the meds. QC Kinetics are the leaders in regenerative medicine to help your body heal itself. And I should know, I've been a client there, and they helped me with my knee get back to the running in the summer and going whitewater rafting and all of the things that you enjoy. And this is the critical part about my friends with QC. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. That's peace of mind. It's not just a number. They're trying to help you. They're the second opinion that you're looking for to keep you from getting under the knife. To find out if you're a good candidate, go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. The consultation is free, or call 380-284544. That's 380-284544. They have offices all over Central Ohio, so go check them out.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place. Leslie, what's that hot lamp against your window for?
Pella windows are tested up to 160 degrees, Wilson, to ensure efficiency and the lowest energy bills possible, even in the craziest of temperatures. Put your hand on there.
All right. God, that's hot.
On the window, Wilson.
Oh, hey, that is quite nice and cool. So I'm going to go grab some ice now.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rated #1 for innovation at PellaColumbus.com.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway and refresh the vibe with 69-cent large big gulp drinks. Get 69-cent large big gulp drinks at Speedway with Speedy Rewards. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and at Toyota West, we're having our biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're searching for. And during our Go Forth sales event, every pre-owned vehicle is discounted and comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty. At Toyota West, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Dylan Gonzalez. Big Ten Media Days are underway in Las Vegas. Yesterday, we heard from Big Ten Commissioner Tony Pettiti, Coach Ryan Day, and more. Here's Pettiti addressing the letter he sent to the NCAA, advocating for no further punishment against Michigan.
I want to confirm that we did submit a letter. It's not uncommon in proceedings for a conference office to weigh in on. So I'm not going to address what the contents of the letter we sent are. And because it's an ongoing process, I don't think it's appropriate for me to comment.
And on the diamond, the Guardians bat stayed hot with a 6-3 win over the Orioles. Jose Ramirez homered, and the Cleveland Guardians have now won 4 of their first 5 games since the All-Star break. The Reds, however, lost again in Washington, D.C., 6-1. They are now losers of 3 straight games. This update is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Swimming in debt with rates as low as 8.99% APR. Save your summer with a debt consolidation loan. Visit bmifcu.org/consolidate.
Your home for football, food, and fun. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Tweet the program at Bone and Tyvis 971. The Twitter discussion today. There's news out there. We're looking to see if it's actually going to come to fruition, but there are reports that the UFL is coming to Columbus. They're going to move a team possibly here. And so we asked the question online at Bone and Tyvis 971. What should the new Columbus UFL franchise be called? Destroyers, Glory, Panhandles, referencing the first NFL team that was in Columbus, or something else? We have the leader of those three names. Glory is the 27% leader right now, but 35% of you said something else. Here are some of the suggestions. Porter says the Columbus Cavalry. That's not bad. Christian says the Columbus Fighting T-Bones. I could sure.
You buy that merch, huh?
Harry says the Columbus Comets. Says the Columbus Heart of It All. Now you know what? I'm gonna veto that one. I'm not a fan. But
why is it random? Why is it that every Steelers player, former Steeler player, take shots at the Steelers offense?
Is that happening?
George Pickens said, I'm definitely excited to run better plays with the Cowboys.
Wow. Shots fired.
Everybody dogs Pittsburgh's play call.
Now, see, George Pickens is not yet a true Cowboys player, because what he'll learn is the thing you do is if you're a real Cowboys player, you dog the Cowboys after they dog you when the owner goes and publicly humiliates you at a press conference. Then you have to do that, like Micah Parsons did yesterday, where he's like, I don't play for him. I'm playing for the guys here. I don't play for that man. I play for these guys.
He just won his check. That's all.
Seems like a wonderful place to work, Dallas Cowboys. All right, the huddle. Let's do it.
The biggest questions in the NFL are answered right here. Welcome to the huddle.
Producer Dylan Gonzalez, take us through the huddle. Question number 1.
All right, speaking of Micah Parsons, he's upset about his contract situation, and he had this to say yesterday.
You see these other teams taking care of their best guys. I see TJ got taken care of. Max got taken care of. Miles got taken care of. When you got 2 years left on his deal, so it's hard to, you see a lot of people around league getting taken care of. You just, wish you had something that, that same type of energy.
So what do you guys think of the Micah Parsons situation, and what do you think will end up in his contract situation?
I think he ultimately gets paid. It's a part of me that after listening to Jerry Jones talk about the Dak Prescott deal, it feels like it's a part of me that feels like he hopes that Micah Parsons gets hurt this season so he don't have to pay him all the money that he's supposed to get. But ultimately, I think that this deal gets done. I think he gets paid right around TJ Watt and all those guys' numbers, because he's such a good player. You don't just let that type of player walk away, especially when you're talking about a top 3, maybe 4 pass rusher in the NFL that everybody believes is going to overtake and be the number 1 guy eventually. So you don't pass rushing is like number 2. You get the quarterback right, and then you get the pass rusher. Once you got one that's an all-pro and a Pro Bowl type of guy like that, you keep him. So I think Dallas does that.
We talked about it. TJ Watt is 30 this year.
Yep. He'll be 31 and like something.
Myles Garrett is 29. Trey Hendrickson is 30 as well. Micah Parsons is 26. So you could make the case he could get more than any of those guys, because he's a young player who's got a lot of future left. So, yeah, I definitely think you're going to see Jerry Jones have to overpay yet again for a guy that if he would have just taken care of him to start, probably could have got a better deal, but not. That's all flown the coop now.
So the Cowboys have a good year like every 3 or 4 years, so I think they're due to have one, and then Micah Parsons will have a good year, and then they'll pay him a bunch of money, and then they'll stink again for 2 or 3 more years. That's what's going to happen.
Have all these contracts that will then be like filling up. All right, question number 2, Dylan.
So earlier this week, the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, announced that he is retiring from the NFL after 12 seasons and 3 All-Pro selections. Did he have the best nickname in football history?
Honey Badger's really good. I say a couple that just popped into my head. These are older names.
Fridge.
William Refrigerator Perry is one.
I knew it.
And the Minister of Defense, Reggie White, who famously, because he was a minister. You remember that story where he was with the Eagles, or was it? Am I have that right? I think he was with. I got to back that up because he went on to the Packers, right?
Yes.
Am I wrong? Yeah,
but he signed with them in free agency.
Yes, he did, and that was what it was because. He said, I'm going to talk to God, and God will direct me as to what to do. And they said at like 12:01 on the day of free agency, 12:01 a.m., he got a call from Mike Holmgren who said, hey, Reggie, it's God. He said to sign with the Packers.
Oh man, people funny. People know they funny.
Yeah, that's right. So I like those. I like those two. I mean, Prime. We're still going.
I'm about to say Prime is not. This should be the number 1 answer.
You have any other ones?
I can't think of none. Billy White Shoes.
Oh, yeah. Billy White Shoes Johnson. That's a good one. All right, Dylan, question number 3.
So we talked yesterday about Dylan Gabriel impressing early at Browns training camp. If you were Coach Stefanski, what order would the depth chart be in right now?
Go ahead, Tyvis.
Joe, Kenny, Dylan, Shedeur, what it probably is. And then as the thing goes on, you start making your moves. As preseason games happen, as joint practices happen, guys start to rotate around. But by the end of camp, I would have had everybody take reps with the ones. The fact that Shedeur still hasn't taken reps with the ones is blasphemy. By the end of this, if it's truly an open, and we're talking about a truly open competition, because that's what they're selling. Oh, it's open. We don't know who's going to get it. If that's the case, make sure all 4 quarterbacks are seen with the ones so we can see exactly what it looks like.
My number 1, Flacco, my Cracko. Number 2, I'm going with Dylan Gabriel. Have someone there who can immediately come in and be a future guy. Number 3, I have Shedeur Sanders. Number 4, I have Kenny Pickett to the Titans. That's what I do. Because I'm done with it. I don't even.
He has because it's his hands.
Yeah. Well, no, just because I don't. Why do you have 2 old guys and 2 young guys? Have a veteran, have a rookie. Everybody else is superfluous.
I think their thing is, one, I don't think that they like Joe Flacco as much as the world think they do.
That's fine.
Because
they probably don't.
It's obvious. I mean, they traded for Kenny Pickett, and then they just decided to get Joe Flacco right before the draft. Oh, by the way, they took 2 quarterbacks in the draft. So that kind of tells you where they at with the Joe Flacco thing. I think the Kenny Pickett is their hope to get a Sam Darnold type quarterback, that a former first-round pick that figured it out with us, and they're pulling for straws with the 2 rookies.
I mean, I tend to think you're right that they took lottery picks. By the way, I don't think Dylan Gabriel is solidified as he's definitely the better quarterback of those 2. Everyone says he has.
No, everybody actually says that Shedeur is the better.
As far as the actual player, but everyone talks about Dylan Gabriel turned some heads because he took in the offense better and he understands it and he's really grasping. They're adding stuff for him quicker than they thought they would. And it's everyone says he processes things well, and then they look at how big he is and what he can do with his arm talent, and that's where it's suddenly oh yeah, from the neck down, not really an NFL quarterback, but the neck up, this man's got it. It's great. He's going to be wearing a headset in 5 years and telling guys how to make throws, and that's fine. He could have a great career as a coach, but I don't think he's going to be a good quarterback.
I wouldn't say all that now. The kid was a baller in college, so we're not going to act like that.
There are a lot of guys who were ballers in college.
I will say that I would have to ask Bo, but every reporter that I talked to that's went to practice and watched practice, they all say that Joe Flacco is head and shoulders better than everybody when it comes to just pure throwing the ball. He's better than everybody. And they actually say Shedeur Sanders is actually second best out of all of them. But it makes me laugh when I hear that because Shedeur also has not received snaps with the ones yet.
Yeah.
So, Tyvis, I got to ask you, because you said Flacco would be your number 1, but you also said you don't think they're as impressed with him as everyone thinks they are. And maybe it's Bo and those guys rubbing off on me, but I don't want to see Flacco either. I don't think there's any point. That's why I think it's kind of Kenny Pickett's job. They traded a pick to get him. He's only 26 years old, despite how long he's been in the NFL.
So you said there's no point to see Flacco.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Who, out of those 4 quarterbacks, who do you think gives you the best chance to win games?
Joe Flacco.
Then it's a point of playing Joe Flacco.
Well, that's that's if you think the rest of the team is good enough to actually win playoff games.
So, I'm gonna be honest with you. As a player or a coach, there is not a player nor a coach that's ever going to go into a game and say, "I don't want to win this game. We should just lose."
I know that, but
if that's the case, I'm going to win every game that's possible. That's out of 17 games. I'm trying to win 17 games. Joe Flacco gives me the best chance to do that. I'm playing Joe Flacco.
Every player on the Saints, other than Honey Badger, who just retired, every player on the Saints thinks they're going to go out and win every game this year. The guys who are putting that team together.
Correct.
The guys who are putting that team together are saying, it better not. Because we didn't put a good line together. We didn't put a good secondary out there. We're not putting a good team out there. We are putting out a team that's probably going to get us a top 5 pick. Whether that's fair or not to the players, you're right. I know what you're saying, but if it's just up to the coaches, yeah, you're probably right. Joe Flacco would be the guy, but I think there's a front office play here too that's saying, yeah, but we don't need to necessarily be winning games is not the focus for this.
I would start Joe Flacco and have my other guy ready because he's going to fall off a cliff. It might be after 4 games, 5 games, 6 games, whatever it is. I will be ready to have my next guy ready to go in there and play.
Ryan Day spoke at Big Ten Media Day yesterday. You'll hear what he had to say next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Well, definitely noticing a lot more drivers out there as we slowly approach this 8 o'clock hour right now. Our main concern for folks over on the east side, Gahanna, Reynoldsburg, Bryce, Groveport, Pickerington, definitely noticing some slowdowns in your neck of the woods. But we do want to focus, though, on folks over on the west side. 70 at Wilson Road leading into the city, looking pretty slower than usual right now. Still no major crashes to talk about, though. Same situation for Grove City, looking at 71 northbound over by Green Lawn at 29 miles per hour. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Guys, don't live with tiredness and low energy. Get your life back with testosterone therapy at Low T Center. Take the test, get those fast results, and start TRT with Columbus's leading experts in men's health. And now it's easier than ever with the new Synergenics Health app, an innovation in healthcare technology you will not find anywhere else. So download the Synergenics Health app now or book an appointment while the test is still free at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Did you know even the smallest increase in mortgage rates can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your loan? Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. It's true, even a 0.25% change in rate can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your mortgage. But with Third Federal's new Early Rate Lock, you don't have to take chances. Early Rate Lock is the only pre-approval that locks in your rate at pre-approval, even before you find a house. Plus, we're so confident that our rates are the lowest, if you find a lower rate, we'll beat it or give you $1,000. And for a limited time, get pre-approved with Third Federal and we'll pay all of your closing costs. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today.
Right now at Third Federal, even before you find a home, lock in 6.44% APR 6.47% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restricted supply. Zero closing costs on low-cost loans only. See conditions for lowest rate guarantee at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Win big at El Dorado Scioto Downs, your Caesars Rewards hotspot. Play over 1,700 hot games. Sip craft brews at Brew Brothers. And dine at Guy Fieri's Trattoria with its famous 68-layer lasagna. Enjoy live music at Vail Bar and harness racing now through September. Experience nonstop thrills where rewards never stop. Must be 21 plus to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and dropping just 25 pounds with the Awaken 180 can actually give you 10 extra degrees of golf swing rotation. That's about a half a club longer, 6 to 10 extra yards on every swing, but from experience, lose 75 pounds like I did, and now we're talking next level distance, consistency, and even mood, especially on the back nine. And actually, every pound you drop takes 4 pounds of pressure off your knees. So I lost 300 pounds of pressure off of mine. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Join Timmy Hall for Buckeye Replay this Saturday at 1. Look back at classic games in Ohio State football history.
Sponsored by Weber Grills.
This week, Ohio State and Oregon for the title. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Summer is in full swing. If you think you're hot, well, so are your trees. You can help your trees by watering them, especially if they're newly planted. During the hot, dry summer months, your trees could use a water boost. Watering new trees a few times a week will help them survive while they're developing their root system, so don't forget about them. To find out more about watering trees or to find a certified arborist near you, go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing.
It's the height of the summer, and that means summer slide is a risk. We know students can lose some of what they've learned when they're out of school. You can help fight summer slide by playing fun educational games with your kids. Dice and card games especially help keep math skills sharp to set up your student for success in the fall.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Fan And weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Another refreshing start for us with our wake-up temperatures in the low 60s and clear skies, giving way to lots of sunshine as we kick off the state fair, and afternoon highs in the low 90s. For tonight, skies will be mostly clearer, and overnight temperatures will be down into the low 70s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The only contraband hiding in Tyvis's butt cheeks is a Kit Kat bar. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Tyvis, I found out you're doing double duty today. Busy man.
Hey, I gotta. Apparently, anytime they put the bat signal up, I gotta come answer when the bat signal's up. So
Tyvis, for those who don't know, Tyvis does the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show up in Cleveland 2 times a week with our sister station up there, WKYC, the television station, right? It's affiliated with all that. Tegna-owned properties. Shout out to them.
Yes.
So you drive up there 2 days a week, Tuesday and Thursday. Today is Wednesday.
Yes.
So this is your, I don't want to say a light day because you still have a full day of working with you and me, which is in and of itself, that's more like a 10-hour job than a 3-hour job. But after this, we're going to go to breakfast. And then what are you doing?
I'm coming back to be on with Matty Ice and Rothman and Ice for 3 hours.
You're filling in for Rothman today.
Yes.
3 hours. So you're going to do 6 hours of radio today?
That's correct.
I hope they're paying you extra.
We'll see. We'll see.
They better.
We'll see. I think payment the payment comes up pretty soon too. So we'll see.
That better be.
Look at my check. It should be a couple more dollars.
Yeah.
Threaten to hold out. What are they going to do?
Threaten to hold.
Say, I'm not going to show up.
Here's what you do. You hold in. You show up, and then you sit in the corner of the studio and just stare at Matty Ice as he talks solo until you get an offer from management to get paid. So you're there. Hey, I didn't skip out. You can't find me. I'm here for work.
Hit him
but
with
I'm
the
not
Marshawn
playing.
Lynch, huh? Just
Here so I don't get
fired. You know what? The problem with me is I could never do Matty Ice like that. I could never look at like Matty Ice be sitting there and ask me, he'd throw the question to me and I just sit there and look at him.
Who could? Matty Ice is one of the best people I've ever worked with in this business. So
he had his work anniversary here yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
Shout out to him. It was like 14 years.
Matty Ice been here for 14 years?
I think it was 12. I don't want to shortchange him. I think it was 12. But still, yeah, he's been here for well over 10 years. Well over 10 years.
Matty Ice been working here for 14 years.
Yeah, he ain't that old to be here for that long.
That's what I'm saying.
That just tells you how quick his come up has been.
No, Matty Ice went right from he came right from the Ohio School for Broadcasting and then got in here and made it happen. So
good for Matty Ice, man.
Yeah, he's a dude. We
it was
love
12.
Matty Ice.
It was
okay,
12.
12 years. All right. Well, congrats to Matty Ice on 12 years being here at the Fan. And I mean, working with Rothman, like I said, that's like working with me. That is like an extra. You get time and a half for that because it is just an extra thing. But those two are great. Rothman's off today. You're going to be on with Matty Ice starting at noon. So 6 hours of talking. That's I hope you're getting hazard pay, buddy. That you should get. Ryan Day at Big Ten Media Days yesterday, he said lots of things, but here's one thing. This is the thing probably most people care about. What's happening with the quarterback battle? You're going to be shocked. He didn't really tell us too much of anything, but here's what Ryan Day said about the ongoing quarterback battle at Ohio State.
I think both guys have gotten stronger. We're interested to see once we get done with our summer program with Mick next week, who are gold and who's Iron Buckeyes. That'll be big for the leadership, but guys have taken leadership roles and they've been throwing with the wide receivers. And, I ask those guys all the time and they like both of them. So we're going to put them in as many competitive situations as we possibly can to figure out who handles that the best because, we got to be on point in week one. We can't be messing around. I know that we'll need all of those guys in that room this year. When you look at Will, he was a guy who, was an older guy who was experienced, and he was able to sustain the entire season. That's not always the way it is. So we have to build depth in that room as well. So I got a feeling they'll all play throughout the season, but it'll be a fierce competition to be who the starter is.
All right. That last 10 seconds or so where he said, I feel like they're all going to play this season because we don't have a Will Howard in there who's essentially going to be the guy. You could say Ryan Day just is lying through his teeth and he knows exactly who's going to be the quarterback and all that stuff. But I'm telling you, as a guy who's listened to a lot of Ryan Day press conferences, that right there does not sound like he's either the best liar in the world, which I don't think is the case, or he's being genuine and saying, I really don't know which of these guys is going to be the starter.
I actually tend to take him at face value. I think he's very honest about this. I think if years past, I feel like we would know like who had a league. I truly think it is even neck and neck. Even some of the little conversations I've had with him, like he makes it sound like everybody really is even between Julian and Lincoln. And I think we are going to see all quarterbacks. I mean, they play Grambling State, so we will see Davian St. Clair somewhere at some point this season.
Fair, right? Yeah.
So I think he's honest when he says that. But when you talk about Julian and Lincoln, I mean, one of them to me, when you think about Julian, you think about a guy who's very hyped up, who slings the ball really well, got a quick trigger, can make some throws that make you go, oh my goodness.
Right.
And then you think about Lincoln, who's just a pure athlete, who's a dog, who's a baller, like that just makes things happen. And I know that people don't really know Lincoln because the only memory you have of him is the Missouri Cotton Bowl game, where it just
that's not even fair.
And that's not fair.
Yeah.
And I think when you just talk to Berm or Austin or all these people that has covered spring ball, everybody says Lincoln had the better spring. Like he was the better quarterback in the spring. But the spring game, Julian was the one that maybe had the better spring game. So I think that's what evened things up. I think at the end of the day, I love the fact that Ryan Day brought up the fact that he asks the wide receivers. They throw all the time. He asks the wide receivers, like, who do y'all think? It's good to know that he's getting that input because receivers tend to play harder for a certain guy that they believe in. And if they keep saying it's even, then I think we do have to take this thing to camp and see who's the more consistent guy. Well, Ryan Day has always said that he wanted the guy who's the better competitor because that will drive leadership and that'll get more people to go to the foxhole with them. So to me, I don't know. I know a lot of. I think it should be Julian, but Lincoln, man, he's such an athlete that it's like you can't not have that out there. Like the guy is good. Like he's a really good player. Like he's good at everything he does.
I'm on the opposite end of the argument with this because why do you bring Julian Sayin in the transfer portal and essentially push out Air Nolan if he's just going to be a backup for a year or two? And this kind of reminds me of the McCord Brown situation. I don't know how you guys felt about that. And I'm not going to say who told me this, but someone from Ohio State told me who the starting quarterback that season was going to be in July. And that was supposedly a battle, but it really wasn't. And it's a kind of the same situation where when McCord and Brown were both on the roster with CJ Stroud, who did you see in mop-up duty every single time? Kyle McCord. Yeah. And that's who the starter was. Last year, when the backup quarterback came into the game, who was it? It was Julian Sayin. So that tells me that last year, Julian Sayin was ahead of Lincoln Keynotes in the pecking order. So I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be now. And then you see what everyone's saying about him. Oh, people have said, heard multiple people say, quickest release I have ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
People that cover the team. Like, you've said it.
All right, it's good.
I think
when I see you at the spring, I was like, man.
I think here's what I think. I think if you are looking at these two, if I were to make some kind of comparison for them, I think what both of you are saying is fair. And I do think Julian Sayin was in front heading into this offseason. I presumed he was going to be the starter.
I did too.
What I think is, and I'm not trying to disparage anybody, I don't know which way to read this. It's either Lincoln Kienholz, it's such an intense competitor and such a great athlete that Ryan Day is like, well, I had my plans, but I can't deny. If I'm telling all these guys every spot's competitive and everyone's a competitor and everything's open, and then I have the most competitive guy on the team, possibly, if that's who Lincoln Kienholz is, making a run like this, I can't deny him. I have to give him every opportunity to earn it because I'm seeing something that is very different than what I thought. Then maybe that's it. Or it could be the opposite, where Lincoln Kienholz is very competitive, but he is the clear number 2 in Ryan Day's mind, and Julian Sayin just has not grabbed it yet. He hasn't taken it. That
could be it too.
I don't know which one it is, but I'm saying it is somewhere in between those two is probably what's happening here, because I'm with both you guys that we thought. I mean, Julian Sayin is probably the best pure passer they have. And he's been here long enough to have every grasp of the offense. I don't put a lot of stock into Lincoln Kienholz has been here longer. They've both been here long enough to figure it out. And by the way, you have a new offensive coordinator in place this year. So they're both kind of learning new wrinkles to this offense. One of them has to grab it yet. And I think probably it's that Julian Sayin hasn't done it yet. And Lincoln Kienholz is making every effort to kind of take that over. And that's where
I think
Ryan Day's stuck right now.
Maybe it could be that consistently wise, Lincoln is consistent. He's the same every day. And Julian just gives you these big splashes that you just can't overlook.
I think there could be an option C, which is what I think it is that in the transfer portal era, if you want a steady backup quarterback, you have to feed the rhetoric that he has a chance to be the starter because you don't want him to transfer and go somewhere else.
I hear all that, but the transfer portal is closed. You don't have to do that anymore. It's done.
Yeah, but I think it's also you have to show all the other guys on the team, I'm doing this with starting quarterback. I'm doing this with everyone. It's not just lip service when I say this guy is pretty good and they're all going to have a chance to compete. And then no matter what you do in camp, I just put this guy as the starter. I think there's some of that too, where it's like, even if it is, he has maybe a little guidance on where he's going to go. He's wanting to give everybody their fair shot. And I think that's real. We're going to take 2 minutes, come back. The quarterback room, we'll talk to a guy who went through those quarterback battles at Ohio State. Justin Zwick joins us next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, if you live over by Blendon Township and even in New Albany, we do want to let you know about a ramp closure starting tonight. So 161, that westbound ramp to 270 northbound will be closed starting tonight, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. So definitely note those overnight hours. So a good detour to keep in mind, and it will definitely add a little bit to your drive time. So take a look here. 161 westbound, hop on there to 270 southbound in that direction. That will lead you all the way past Gahanna, past the airport to East Broad Street. That will be your best way to make a nice little loop onto 270 northbound in that direction and get you where you need to go. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-555-2085. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-555-2085. That's 800-555-2085. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-555-2085.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, I got the nicest Google review today. Dewey from Gahanna said, "We cannot believe we are able to get the Pella look and quality at the cost we did."
I got a review too. Listen to this. These windows were great. Oh boy. For about a year. Looks like I'll need to renew, in quotes for some reason, my windows way too soon. Repeat customer?
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Every time Tyvis laughs, take a drink. Just kidding. You'd be dead in 30 seconds. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
We have had a packed show today. If you miss any of it, just go get the podcast. Wherever you get podcasts, search T-Bone and Tyvis. It'll be right there for you. Just anywhere you get podcasts. It's right on the app. Just search that term. It'll be there. You can hit follow, subscribe, add, whatever you got to do. That way you won't miss a minute of it. Whenever you want to listen, it's all there for you. The T-Bone and Tyvis podcast. Available wherever you get fine podcasts. It's time to talk quarterbacks.
It's time to go inside the quarterback room with T-Bone and Tyvis.
So we are talking about battling for the quarterback position. We were just talking about Julian Sayin, Lincoln Kienholz, and that battle there in camp. A guy who knows all about that. Former OSU quarterback Justin Zwick joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline. Justin, how are you today, man?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Thanks for jumping on. We appreciate you talking about this. So you've been through this process. You've seen what it's like to have the whole media of Columbus and even outside of Columbus talking about who's going to play quarterback at Ohio State. just mentally, how did you kind of deal with all that as you came in, a highly touted recruit, and then hearing all the noise? How did you block that out, or did you?
Well, I mean, it was a lot easier back in my day. I date myself a little bit, but social media wasn't really around. So it wasn't a thing where I'm getting on a phone and having that blow up in my face. So it was a little bit easier to put your head down and just, really not pay attention to the outside noise. But, it's an interesting kind of competition because usually only one guy plays, and when you lose as many players from a team, that kind of happened to me in my sophomore year. Troy and I were battling, and we had just lost 14, 15 guys from, the previous year to the draft. And, it's just kind of, all right, well, the quarterback is usually the guy who, is bringing people in and, breaking huddles and doing this and that. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be yet. And we're sophomores. There's some seniors on the teams. It's a strange dynamic when you get into a situation like this. But, as far as quarterbacking goes, they know what they have to do. Ryan, I think, is really open with them about what he expects and what he's looking for, and they just have to go out during practice and do that. So it's kind of I'm sure these guys nowadays, they have to make a concerted effort to not get on their phone, not go down those rabbit holes of searching for whatever people are saying, because it doesn't really matter. It's inside the house at the Woody Hayes. Those opinions are the only ones that count.
Jay-Z, would you say that when you were battling for your quarterback spot, would you say that your competition was fair? And what does a fair quarterback competition look like?
That stuff, I would say so. I think we split basically first team. What I look at that as being fair is, you're splitting first team reps, as much as you can during these team activities, and, just where the bullets are flying a little bit, right? You want to make sure that you have the same opportunity as the guy you're battling against, and you're not going with, and nothing against, the second or third team, but when you get down, it's just a little bit different. You're not with your offensive line that you're used to being with. You're not with the receivers that you're used to being with. So, things change a little bit. So I think just getting that, same level of, all right, you guys have the same count of snaps, with the first team, and it wasn't inside period. We were throwing the ball. We were doing different things because a lot of times you're like, all right, you're with the ones here, but we're doing it inside. So you're going to go down there and hand the ball off, for 15 minutes. That's not what a quarterback in a competition wants to do with the ones. He wants to go out in a team setting, throw the ball downfield, and show the coaches that, one, I'm going to make the right decisions. Two, I'm going to put the ball in the money. And three, you can trust me, with the ball in my hand. So, just leveling those snaps out, which is hard to do. I'm sure the coaches have been dealing with, coming up with a plan of how, all right, this practice, we're doing these. Let's make sure we're making these guys get the same amount of reps and whatnot. But I think coaches do, as fair of a job as they can, just early on in camps, trying to get the same amount of reps. And then, if someone starts poking their head above, then maybe they get a little bit more as the camp goes on.
Justin Zwick joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline. So, the guy who was in charge of your quarterback battle, the guy who kind of had that situation, was Jim Tressel. Do you, when you talk to Tress now, do you call him Lieutenant Governor, or how does that work now that
he gets the coach out of me? I don't know. He's got too many titles. He, go from president to coach to president of universities to Lieutenant Governor. The guy does everything.
Yeah. Did you? No, go ahead.
I know. I was going to say I saw him do different quarterback competitions. My brother played for him at Youngstown State, and I saw how he kind of handled things there. And so I figured we were going to get a fair shot coming down here, and that's kind of what happened. And it was. I don't think they named a starter until. And back in those days, we got to go home on the first high school Friday night football games. They would let us out of camp so we could go watch our teams. And I think that night is when they announced that I was going to start our sophomore year. So, it was all of camp before I found out that I was going to be the guy, a week out of game one. But, I hope Ryan has a little bit clearer decision and he can make that a little bit sooner during camp.
Go ahead.
So when you look at these two quarterbacks, obviously Lincoln and Julian, they say, like, arm talent-wise, he's got this quick release. He's got some good accuracy. But then you think about Lincoln, and they say that he's a great athlete. He's got a great mentality. He's a fierce competitor. He can make good throws. Which one do you lean more towards if you want to start a season?
That's a good question. I remember going down last year for spring ball when Julian was just, he should have still been a senior in high school. I wanted to see Will Howard. It was his first few practices. And, I just remember watching the quarterbacks And that freshman, man, that ball just looked a little bit different coming out of your hand, coming out of his hand. And, it was something I noticed. And I'm like, all right. And then I think, a week later, he loses his black stripe, which for a young kid like that shows the coaches saw, a lot coming out of him early on in that spring ball. But, as far as, which one would you like, it all depends, I think, on what your offensive line looks like. If you think you're going to be pretty solid up front, you're going to be having a good run game, they're going to be opening holes up, they're going to be protecting the quarterback, then, I don't know that it necessarily matters. You probably want to put the guy back there who you feel has the best arm or makes the best decisions and has the best accuracy. But if, you're not sure about that up front, maybe you want a more athletic guy who can run around and try and make things happen. And I don't think Lincoln is that much more ahead of, where Julian would be athletic-wise. I think we went through that with Devin Brown and Kyle McCord. I don't think they were that much different of quarterbacks. Devin, did try and run a little bit more, but, I don't think one was, a Mike Vick type guy and, one was just a pocket guy, if that makes sense. I think they were somewhat similar, and I think these guys are too. I think Lincoln, of course, he's had a few more years in the system, a little bit bigger. He's got to talk with him on the Buckeye Cruise this last year, and he looked to be filled out pretty well. 215, 220, which putting some weight on for Julian, I thought would be a big thing this offseason because when you're playing in the Big Ten, Tyvis, you used to put hits on people all the time. You're trying to take them out of the game, when you're hitting them. So we want a quarterback with a little meat on his bones so he can take one of those shots and get back up and not be fazed by it. But I think we have two good options. And, Lincoln, he won state championships in football, basketball, and baseball his senior year. And he was like a starter in all of them, throwing windmill dunks down. The guy is, a freak athlete, freak competitor. So, I really like our chances either way we go here.
Justin Zwick joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline. I was curious with, the quarterback battle. You obviously and Troy Smith, duked it out. Troy Smith eventually became the Heisman Trophy winner. The stakes are high in these battles, no matter what era you're in, right? When you get to be the quarterback Ohio State, there is so much on the line. But now there's also NIL dollars. There's, Jeremiah Smith, the guy that whoever these quarterbacks are going to throw to has an Adidas deal, and he's a sophomore. Like, do you think that dynamic of having extra everything on the line of getting revenue, all that, would that have made the battle when you were there even more intense, do you think, when there's all that other stuff riding on the line too?
As far as, players, I would like to say no, because this is like I wanted, when you're a quarterback, usually only one guy plays and you want to be that guy and you grew up your whole life kind of being that guy. So, as far as, having the NIL or any of those kind of deals, I probably wouldn't have let that bother me too much because I'm putting all the pressure on myself just to go out and be my best every single day I can. It's another weird thing that you didn't really mention with the NIL is now we got the portal. We just had a guy go 11-1 here a few years ago, and they said, "Hey, thanks, but no thanks. We're going to go find somebody who can take us to the promised land." And that usually doesn't happen in college football, at least back in my day. If I would have went 11-1 my first year starting, maybe I don't get benched the next year. But it's kind of the way that college football has gone, and the NIL and the windows and all those just throw a whole a lot more into the sink there. But all you can do coming into this season, young guys, let's go out, play smart, show the coaches they can trust us, and put us in situations and just see where the chips fall.
Last one I have for you. How do you think Jim Tressel managed that between you and Troy Smith, that whole situation? We obviously know that he's, like I said, he's the lieutenant governor now. He's run a university, all those things. We saw the quiet, measured Jim Tressel, in the press conferences. But behind the scenes, when it was coming down to the wire, like how was he to deal with that? And how did he manage both of your guys, I'm sure, intense desire to be the guy?
Like I said, I didn't find out I was starting until, I was up in Massillon and they announced it on the over the intercom at the game that Friday night after camp was over. So they weren't as, I think nowadays they're a little more open with the guys on what they're seeing and where they're at and what they need to improve on. Back then, there wasn't a whole lot of that. They were more tight-lipped. Neither Troy or I really knew what they were feeling or, what was going on or who had a leg up. And that was just kind of maybe the mind games that they played, Coach Tress and, Joe Daniels and, the offensive staff. But, I think nowadays, I think Urban kind of started this like, all right, this is where you're at. if you want to be here, you got to get better at this, this, and this, and this. I think just being honest with the guys is kind of something a little bit new. They were a little tight-lipped back in the day. We had, going into that class, I thought I was the only quarterback, and then we added another one on signing day, and then it was, well, he's not. We're not going to split reps, and then we split reps, and it was just kind of things kind of just went that way the whole time, and just never really knew, what to expect, and even my junior year going into the Texas game, I think it was the Friday night before the game, I found out I was going to start, and it's just kind of, they always just kind of held it back for us, just keeping us guessing, and that's just the way they wanted to do it, and I don't know if it's right or wrong. They were making all the big bucks, so they knew what they wanted to do, and that's just kind of how it went.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time and kind of giving us this insight because you have the perspective that not many other people do in college football of getting to see it from the inside. So, Justin, we appreciate the time today, okay?
All right, no problem, guys. Thank you.
There you go. Jay-Z, Justin Zwick himself on the Fan Guest Hotline. We'll come back. It's buzzer time next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Well, still looking pretty busy out there with all the traffic and drivers that we're seeing right now. West side, looking at the same situation, especially for folks over on the east side. Over by Bryce, especially 70 eastbound, definitely a lot slower than usual. But again, focusing more on the west side, we have that ongoing construction just north of West Jefferson. So I'd like to check in with you guys. 70 eastbound heading into the downtown scene, looking a little bit slower than usual, of course. Clocking you at 52 miles per hour right now. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall, and I want to talk to you about the roof over your head. You know that thing that protects your house and everything in it? It's pretty important, and a lot of you are going to have to replace it soon, but be warned. There are companies out there that skip over the biggest part of the process, the attic ventilation. You see, if that attic doesn't have proper circulation, it can cause problems such as mold and rot. You got rot, and not to mention leaks in the wintertime and higher AC bills in the summer. This is one of the reasons I'm telling you about my guys at Victor's Home Solutions. They start with a free 21-point roof inspection, including a thorough inspection of that attic as well. They know that if that ventilation isn't right, that roof's going to be built on a shaky foundation. That's why every Victor's roof comes with a well-thought-out attic ventilation plan, and that's why they can offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. Money-saving discounts and financing incentives are also available. Call for your free 21-point roof inspection and get that estimate today. 866-VICTORS or go to victors.com.
Get cash for clunkers during the Honda Summer Event at Lindsay Honda.
Listen up, Columbus. Cash for clunkers is big money towards your next ride.
Up to $3,500 minimum for your trade.
Use it for the down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash.
Lease a new 2025 HR-V two-wheel drive LX or 2026 Civic four-door LX for just $299 a month. Zero cash down. Just bring us your clunker. Shop Lindsay Honda, the big Honda store now. For details, visit lindsayhonda.com.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway and refresh the vibe with 69-cent large big gulp drinks. Get 69-cent large big gulp drinks at Speedway with Speedy Rewards. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Is that knee, hip, or shoulder pain not getting any better? Are you stuck in a cycle of steroid shots and now they're talking surgery? Before you go down that road, hit pause for a second. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell, and I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without more meds and without going under the knife. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using treatments like advanced cellular therapy and the platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. No masking the pain. This goes to the root of the problem. Their cellular treatment contains growth factors and healing properties to maximize your own body's ability to heal itself. And this is critical. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. Real results that let you move easier and live better. It doesn't cost anything for a second opinion. Learn more about something that could be life-changing. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays and MRIs and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Your neighborhood Kroger Pharmacy is happy to welcome back Express Scripts Medicare D and TRICARE Department of Defense Plan members. It's easy to transfer prescriptions at Kroger.com/payer update. See your Kroger Pharmacy for details.
Morning Juice is now live on YouTube. Join Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Thidoff weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
Just search 971 The Fan to catch the live experience or watch on demand.
The Fan.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. 2 men with 5 combined offspring. None of them have penises. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Now joining us, he is the namesake of Bishop and Friends. He is one Bo Bishop. Bo, how you feeling, bud?
Are you in an Aston Villa jersey today?
I am. And you know why?
Randy Lerner?
No. No. That's a good pull, though.
I thought maybe it was
good for you.
Lerner.
It's not a Lerner family thing. It's actually referencing a sad story. We lost a musical icon yesterday in the Ozman, Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
He is from Birmingham, and he was an Aston Villa fan. So that is why I'm wearing the Aston Villa jersey. But good for you to recognize the Aston Villa jersey. That's spot on.
You know who else is from Birmingham? The Peaky Blinders.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I've never fully watched that show. I've watched episodes, but I know.
You're sitting there in a Villa kit, buddy. Like, get on it. You're going to love the Peaky Blinders. It's everything you want.
Bo, did you have me hitting a home run, or did you have me going more 0 for 2 in Cardale softball game?
There's a scene in Mad Men where this little lackey comes up to Don Draper and he goes, "I've been thinking of you all week." And Don Draper goes, "I don't think about you at all."
Wow.
I saw you. Wow. Now, Brother Bone's got a shave. This is the punishment.
So tomorrow,
Brother Bone, you're going to have chins you didn't even know you had.
Listen, I hope I do, because my fear...
It's terrifying.
My fear is... So I haven't shaved. I was just doing the math with Fish on this. Bo, you may have seen me the last time I didn't have facial hair but wouldn't recognize me, because you used to cover the Crew, and I would go out and cover Crew stuff back in the olden days.
20 years, right?
That's what I'm saying.
But y'all that old.
Bo used to call me Smitty, because that's when we met. That was the nickname. He knew me pre-bone. Yeah.
Pre-bone for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but I have not been. Our wedding anniversary, my wife and I, we got married in December of 2005, and in the wedding photos, I have a full beard. I have not, since I've been married, shaved this whole thing off. Wow. So it is a solid 20-year build. Now, it's been close. I've shaved it down to like a 2-blade where it's really close, but never fully gone. We're going full,
all slicked up,
straight razor, everything.
I'm so glad I didn't lose this bet.
What was your end of it going to be?
If I would have had to shave my beard.
He had to go. If he went,
if
he went over, he would have had to shave his beard.
Bo, we talked about this last year on your show. Remember, I've never shaved. I've never put the cream on my face with her.
I do. I remember this. No straight edge. So when is the last time that you were clean, like slicked up?
High school. No, first freshman year of college.
So as soon as you could. So in high school, did you just shave it like an electric?
No, I never shaved.
In college it started to grow, and you're like, I'm rolling with it.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize.
Like a chia pet. Once it came in, it just stayed.
Yes.
I got you.
When did now this is real personal. When did shaving start for Bo? Like, were you an early bloomer in that regard, or did you have a baby face?
Oh, no. I did. There was nothing to shave in high school. I don't think I could shave. I probably couldn't grow a beard until my mid-20s. And I didn't know I could. I'll be fair. Let me just say this. I don't know when I knew I could grow a beard because I was in television from age 20 on. So I had to shave 5 days a week because in those days you couldn't be on television with facial hair. That was just like the rule. You
No,
couldn't.
right.
So you had to be clean shaven all the time. So I shaved 5 days a week from the time I was 20 until, well, when I left Channel 10 in 2015. So that's a decent stint there of 20, long time, 17, 18 years where I shaved 5 days a week.
Well, tomorrow, 8:45, we're going to do this. We're going to have Henry from Hammer and Nails, the Powell location. They are at 285 West Olentangy Street in Powell. They're coming in tomorrow to make this happen. So,
are they straight edging you?
Well, they're going to be first. I hope. I think they're barbers. They know to do this. Like first, it's the clippers.
Sure.
Right. Then we go straight razor after that.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I mean it's. Yeah,
you doing everything, mustache too.
Everybody.
So you're going to be. This is going to be like the scene in The Untouchables with Capone, where you're like on the thing and he's.
I mean, I'm hoping it doesn't turn into the scene from Reservoir Dogs, where suddenly my ear is missing and the guy's dancing to Sinatra or whatever.
You should at least keep the mustache.
Rest in peace, Michael Madsen.
Yeah, no kidding.
No,
right?
I think he's got to be all slicked up.
Don't do that, bro.
No. I fully committed to the bit. It'll now.
Yeah.
We said beard, not.
No, I'll get it all gone.
Facial hair.
I'll get it all gone. It's fine. It's all gone. Well, Bo, don't worry about my facial hair. It'll be fine. I'm excited to find out if my chin even exists. I don't think I have one. My chin's...
Mine doesn't. It's been gone for a long time. I don't have one.
We're 24 hours away from the worst day of my life, so I'm very excited for that. I'm excited to listen to you guys starting at the top of the hour, though, Bo. Thank you so much for jumping on. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, boys. Talk soon.
All right, we'll listen in. It's buzzer time.
Shove it down your throat.
It's time for the buzzer.
Sponsored by Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings in Dublin. AmishCountryFurnishings.com.
Had a lot of big names retire in the last few days. We had officially Tyrann Mathieu retire, officially Jimmy Graham retired, and I didn't know he hadn't officially retired. Phil Rivers.
I didn't know. I seen that yesterday.
And also last week, Ndamukong Suh officially retired.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
a lot of guys. Rivers thing. I said he's been out of football for like 3 years.
That Phil Rivers thing. When he said that, I was like, I thought he was officially on team making babies. Like I thought he was all done with. I mean, he's been on that.
Isn't he a high school coach?
Yeah, I thought. I mean, but they still call him back occasionally, and he's popped in.
So this is it. Don't even call me.
Don't call me anymore. By now I think he's got at least 10 kids, so he's getting close to having his own football team.
He should have just kept going. Then
he's the GM.
Got to be able to afford all that.
Rivers Football Club. He's the GM.
He got a starting five and a bench.
Oh, forget basketball. He can do any sport. Hockey, baseball. He's got at least an offense or a defense, whichever he wants to go with for football. All right, Bishop and Friends is next. We will see you tomorrow for the shaving, I guess. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, for folks living by the airport, I do want to let you know about a new ramp closure going on tonight. So Hamilton Road, that ramp to 270 northbound, will be closed starting tonight, 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. and lasting through about Friday. So a good detour to keep in mind here. Hamilton Road, take that all the way to 315. Head on westbound there to 62, and that will ultimately get you onto 270 northbound. We are also noticing some lane restrictions. 270 southbound right at Hamilton Road, reduced to 3 lanes starting Friday. A good heads up just in case. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu for your fan traffic. Make it a great day.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a HitTrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport at Polaris Fashion Place. Grand opening celebration August 15th through August 17th.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $434 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Friday, July 25th is Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. Visit the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Department of Insurance, and other state agency booths. Come learn about mental health resources available to you and to your family. Join us on Friday, July 25th for Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair.
Newman Roofing is proud to sponsor the Fan and 10 TV's Beat the Heat Fan Drive. Help Ohio's most vulnerable residents deal with the extreme heat this summer. Purchase new box fans and take them to the nearest Franklin County Fire Station or buy online. For more information, go to lifecarealliance.org.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger, and you can get started now by saving when you join today. We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need, and you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Offer ends July 31st.
See Home Club for details.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Saving money on your roofing project at Menards with Owens Corning Shingles. Your roof is the first line of defense against the elements and enhances the appearance of your home's exterior. Owens Corning Duration Shingles offer ultimate protection and impressive curb appeal. Choose from 24 colors of Owens Corning Duration Shingles on sale now at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, this is Ron from the Good Feet store. Are you standing on painful feet all day? Don't lose hope. We want to help you live without pain. Discover your options and visit goodfeet.com or stop in today at the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway in Grove City.
The sun is out and the savings are on at Coughlin Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Take up to $7,000 off MSRP on any new Kia EV in stock, or get up to $3,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing for 60 months. Visit CoughlinKia.com.
Largest Kia dealer based on current ground stock at all 4 Coughlin Kia locations. 0% for 60 months equals $1,667 for 1,000 finance. All manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Dealer financing required. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 7/31/25.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York. Evan Cohen here. According to a recent ZipRecruiter survey, 76% of employers plan to expand headcount for 2025. If you're one of these employers, add ZipRecruiter's latest feature, Zip Intro, to your hiring plan. It does most of the work for you, so you save time. Just pick a time, and Zip Intro finds and schedules qualified candidates for you. You can even meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.